A very good afternoon, all, and welcome to Exneco's webinar series. Our topic for the day is Digital Transformation Pathways for Industries the Sustainable Way. IoT, ChatGPT, AI, digital twins, quantum AI, DeepSeek have become an inseparable part of modern business. Without them, business today seems incomplete. Thus, as industries navigate rapid technological shifts, collaborations between corporates, industries, innovators, and investors is critical. Today, we'll explore how these stakeholders align to drive scalable, ethical, and ROI driven transformation in digital space in a mindful way. Our esteemed speakers for the day are Mr. Pradeep Katyal, Management Consultant, and IIM Ahmedabad alumnus and advocate, Mr. Arnab Ganguly, Vice President, Data, Tata Digital Business and Marketing. He's awaited. Mr. Robin Thomas, CEO and founder, Olive IoT. Mr. Uh, Ranjan Ghosh, CEO and Director, Detours Consulting. We welcome you all, sir, and we are truly honored by your presence. My first question goes to Mr. Pradeep Katyal. What cultural shifts are essential for legacy industries to adopt technologies like multimodal AGI, genetic AI, and digital twins?
Okay, thanks, Shrestha. Uh, First of all, I thank you for inviting me to for this discussion. Now, while going through this issue of cultural change, my response is divided into two parts. One is the softer side of managing business, which is not very different from managing the way we manage the what is important managing business even today. And second is more I can say is a bit technical in nature. I'll try to explain in simpler words, and which is about the importance of data in managing this new technologies like artificial intelligence. Now, one is to successfully adopt technologies like multimodal AGI, agnetic AI, or digital twins. Legacy industries must undergo significant cultural shifts because I worked with various organizations and I see that means I see a lot of variation. Sometimes people are, I haven't observed any change the way a few companies were operating 30 years ago. Many businesses are being managed exactly in the similar manner today, where data is not valued. They get very excited about the new technologies. They want to use it, but when it comes to the hard work, working on their own data, own processes, own structures, they fall short of, or in fact, they don't know what is the challenge or how to go about it. So these shifts are not merely about technology, but fresh look at attitude, values, and practices within the organization. One part is when you're using the new technology, so you have to, what I can say, encourage innovation in the organization, but at the same time, manage risk. On one side, innovation is important, new experiment, new simulations are important, but at the same time, you can't let your existing business suffer. So, in short, it is must value innovation while managing risk. Other thing which all new technologies, I think starting 30 years back, I worked on data warehouse. So right from data warehousing, business intelligence, machine learning, now we are talking about various aspects of artificial intelligence. It becomes successful only when there is convergence of various functions and expertise from various fields. Silos within the organization must be broken down to facilitate interdisciplinary teamwork. And that becomes extremely important. It was always important, but it becomes extremely important when you are implementing these technologies. The other is one word associated with AI frameworks is speed. Whenever we are talking about anything on AI, we always say, okay, the speed, it will overcome the speed of thinking of human beings. It will start taking decision at a very fast pace, real time. So therefore, we need to review what are the organization decision making processes are there, how they are using the technology, and also relevance of speed. So take example, an aeroplane cannot take you everywhere. For some places you need to use a car, and you may be excited about racing cars, but what you use from commuting from A to B is the car of your choice, but not the racing cars. The other is, which I just mentioned when we were starting the discussion, is uh, cross generational engagement. Now, what happens in the organization, legacy organization, you have people of different ages working together. It becomes responsibility of the organization to bring together these generations. So when the senior people, senior in age, brings a lot of experience, and younger generation, you can't deny, is very savvy about new technology. They get excited, they spend a lot of time, they have that patience, and you can say the flexibility to absorb new technologies. And that, I think, uh, each culture, each organization must evolve that culture, that how to make the different generations of the organization mix with each other. Other thing, customer insights, customer centricity, customer value proposition, which were all part of successful legacy organizations. That is equally important even in the world of AI. Uh, if you are moving at a very fast pace using AI, if you have error in your customer identification of the right customers, right product, if you use AI with errors, it is only going to multiply those errors at a very high speed. And therefore, one must not leave any stone unturned while working on their product, services, customer insights, and customer value proposition. Then now I'm going to the technical side, and which is not highly technical. I'm saying I'm not going to touch the technical side of AI, but a bit. I think the discussion is not complete unless you mention importance of data. And where I like to see is that the organization must, or each and every member in the organization who is going to work with technology, must understand three kinds of data. One is a metadata, reference data, and transaction data. An organization must value capturing the data in each and every activity. I can share with you that I joined an organization way back in 94, 95, when computers were slow. 512 MB RAM was considered state of the art. Even at that time, we were advised that wherever you can capture the data, and capture the data through scan, not manually. You keep on doing it, and within, say, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years, that data will become gold mine for the organization. And actually, that happened. We started capturing data using the barcodes, and which were like, you can say, organization specific barcodes. But we started using the data by 97, 98. So within 3, 4 years, we actually used that scan data. Now, what is metadata? I'll just go briefly. So, metadata is how the data is stored in the systems. So, metadata is data about data. So, this gives you information like matrix of customer, product, supply location, purchase location, channel, time. So, I've very quickly taken a few words which I'll repeat for the convenience of the audience, that these are technically also called dimensions. So we say that, okay, the customer dimension, product dimension, location dimension, time dimension. So these are the dimension, and then from here, all kind of data emerges. Uh, just getting one more level deep at this stage, and I will not go any deeper on this. So if you look at time, time can be absolute, which can be a particular date, hour, second. Time can be related, which can be versus the previous year, this year. Time can be based on Gregorian calendar, which is normally we use Jan to December. Time can be based on lunar calendar. There are certain events which people decide that it has to be on a, say, first week of a particular month. So therefore, a simple thing like time has various dimensions to it, and while you are working on different systems, so one need to be aware of these dimensions. Now, second is reference data. Now, commonly it is also called master data. Master data is like your uh, name of the country, name of the ports, states, pin code, unit of measure, currency, currency conversion rates, industrial classification, even GST rates, TIN, PAN, Aadhaar, social media of non-transactional in nature, and open lot of open source information available these days, which forms reference data. Now, after that, I think the most familiar part which people say is transaction data. Now, transaction data is the information collected from each and every transaction in the organization, which may include sale, purchase, supply, receiving of goods or services, or it may be customer interaction these days. And lot of AI is based on customer interactions. And based on the customer interaction, product and services are being recommended. And therefore, if you don't capture transaction data complete, accurately, real time, even if you use the best of the AI tools, you can't make the right recommendations to the customer to generate business for you. Uh, Now, last but not the least, each organization should see that what kind of AI models, open source frameworks are suitable for them. There is already a plethora of frameworks available with a lot of variety and a lot of these being specialized. Someone is on designing a product, someone is on uh, fetching the information, converting videos or transcripts into summaries, etc. So organizations should start looking at what is relevant to them, and so and they must follow for metadata. They must follow some kind of industry standards. Like I have spent a lot of time in retail, and retail, whenever we implemented a system, any system or in any organization, there is a something called arts, which is the full form is the Association of Retail Technology Standards. So the data model suggested by them, you try to follow that model as much as possible for the organization. I hope that I have been able to do some justice to your question.
So that was, I mean, beautiful explanation of how the data suits for legacy organizations should use the data as per their requirement, and how they should. For you cannot use one day. I mean, one software for one kind of. For all kind of work, you cannot use the same software, and the data has to be analyzed and used differently. And along with that, you very well mentioned that to go from one point to other, you can use an aircraft or a car, and it depends upon what is required. So you have to match what kind of tools you have with what kind of work you need to get done. So that was really a beautiful start to the conversation. Thank you so much, sir. Now I move to the next question. My next question is to Mr. Robin Thomas. As the CEO of a startup, what is your general opinion about the trends on which VCs are betting for the industry segments, and how should corporates and industries engage?
Thank you, Sreshta Madam, for giving me this opportunity. Yeah, regarding your question, being a startup founder and working in industrial IoT sector, now we are in a growth stage and we are approaching with VCs for further funding. We are experiencing that compared to earlier times, more VCs are interested in hardware-based startup. Earlier, it was a trend that most of the funding was dominated by the software products and software startups, but now the VCs are interested in hardware and deep tech based startup. Compared to the software, the initial stage, the development and innovation time is will take more time, but that now the VCs understand the potential of these startups. This is one point I need to highlight. The second one is a sector where VCs are now focusing is AIoT. In my experience, like AI is an emerging sector, but AIoT is also an emerging sector. AIoT means artificial intelligence of things. it is a combination of hardware and use cases, like a autonomous car, like the hardware will make decision by its own. That is the second sector now VCs are interested, and we are seeing a trend on that. And the third domain where VCs are interested is the sustainability domain, and more researchers, investments, and are happening in to achieve the solution for net zero. Like we all know that if we don't have a planet to live, we cannot uh, build a solution or do further investment. So last week I was in Delhi and visited the hydrogen R&D facility at Indian and all. There are lot of investment and like new developments are happening in the sustainability domain, especially in the energy transition domain. Like now there is the transition of energy is happening. For example, the non-renewable energy to a renewable source of energy. That space there are a lot of investment is happening. I can able to feel the like the transition in person at I visited the climate week that happened in Delhi, and also the energy week. The both events was a now a like the trendsetter for India for a sustainability. So that is the third point I need to highlight is the focus on sustainability investments. And the finally I would conclude is now compared to earlier, VCs are focused on some sectors only, but most of the VCs are diversifying their investment into multiple sectors. That is like to safeguard their investment. From my as a startup founder, these are my points. First one is the interest I am seeing in the hardware startups. The second one is emerging AIoT sector investment, and the next one is sustainability oriented investments. Yeah, third fourth point is I need to highlight is the diversification of investment.
Wonderful, sir. So, in fact, that was a great input when we talk of how the VCs are looking into investments, and
Yeah.
you also gave good information about AI OT, which is now people are looking into, and there are so many new developments coming up, and sustainability has become a main theme. So that is really wonderful that people are working in this direction. Now, my next question goes to Mr. Ranjan Ghosh. He- with your long leadership experience in the industry and consulting arena, and also being a futurist, what is your view on the importance of designing solutions with definite focus on disruptive AI technologies and sustainability focus?
Thank you, sister. I'm audible.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me in your platform. Let me start with the point that I am fundamentally is not from data science background as an academic area. Second thing is I'm primarily energy consultant and energy from the energy industry and the sustainability automatically attached to it. However, in fact, in the current situation of what is happening in the artificial intelligence world, every day we forget what's the last few months back, what we learned and what is happening now. So it's a huge challenge for the industry and the leadership, everybody. Now, to start with, you know, the artificial general intelligence is a terminology which is known to everybody. Then gradually, artificial agentic AI is becoming very, very important. There are many stages on that also. Then digital twins is a especially important for the industry segments, for its life cycle management of industries. And even I was hearing from that people are started working on the digital twins for the human being. Those things are going on. Anyway, the actually sorry, and I missed the route. The disruptive technologies and the sustainability. These are the two areas. Now, any sustainable approach cannot be a short term approach. It has to be a long term approach. And how that can be done, that's one point. But because the way disruptions are taking place in digital technologies, we have to be always on the learning curve to know that what's next happening. How do we make our employees aligned with them, regular training and processes, and then so that those are all very vital, because unless our employees or we ourselves fundamentally, the management team is not aligned with what's going on, will be falling back very soon. Many within around maximum 2 to 3 years, by 2027. These are projections that no skills will be required. Nobody will be required to run businesses. Almost it's like that. 95%, 96% industries or any businesses will not require human beings. They'll be requiring only some AI agents as employees. So a biggest challenge is for the people like Shrestha. HR will have all kind of different roles. HR will no more employ human beings or the specialists. It will search for agents specific to some specific job. For example, in your organization as an HR profession head, you want somebody who is in the lower level, even starting from that, somebody is good in creating content or making presentations and all those things to pitch in some places to some venture capitalists or somewhere. Then those are skills of Photoshop and Illustrator. All those will not be required. Even now, it's getting sidelined because of AI generated, all these presentations and everything. So those skills will not be required. Now, going from there and up to the going up in the management level, managerial level, and the top management level, everywhere the required skills are getting obsolete almost, which was earlier there. But as Mr. Pradeep has rightly told, the soft skills, those are a part of the leadership qualities. Those are very much required in the sense that though artificial intelligence has started thinking also like human beings these days, but those are all not yet wide scale, or it is a lab scale. So the learning process which the employees must go, they like they have to be always on learning in addition to what they are doing. Now, if they are always in learning, they'll be accustomed and good in the current technology which they can use for their day-to-day jobs. Now when they use for those technologies for day-to-day jobs. They have spare time to think a higher level activity, which will help them, you know, engaging with the overall development of the organization. But only difficulty is that we always in the organizations we have training programs for the entry levels, training training program for managerial levels. It's not there. What happens? A gentleman who is or ladies who is working started his or her career at the beginning at the graduate engineer level or things like that. They're being trained for becoming an executive to handle the challenges of the works for the organization. Now, when this gentleman or this lady gradually gets promoted to become a manager, then what happens? He or she continue doing the same thing what he or she was doing basically. Because what happens when he gets to the managerial level, they start micromanaging the immediate lower levels also. So the leadership qualities are not inculcated into the managerial level. You know, the top management levels normally, I'm talking from my experience in the public sectors, top management levels and senior management levels, they are sent to different IIMs or Harvards or different big management institutes for short-term courses, and they come back and give a big lecture that this we have seen learned, and then things goes on. So the percolation of those knowledges cannot take place through one return lecture from the things these gentlemen or lady have learned from the management organization. So these are the challenges for every stage. Now, all these challenges can be very well addressed today by the huge learning opportunities. And even you need not suppose you as a mm, manager of um, in a section of a large plant, for example, manager of the boiler section of a plant, who is or some mechanical engineer who is looking after the boilers and furnaces and engines. So they when they require certain knowledge about the specific area, they will have the agentic AI to working for them, because agentic AIs are these days are specific, can be generated specific for the specific task. You see, some agentic AI can replace a gas turbine specialist, for example, gas turbine maintenance specialist. Now, the knowledge base which a experienced gas turbine maintenance engineer has are already encapsulated and captured in that specific AI agent which is developed along with the developed for that specific purpose. But what happens? It cannot replace the human factor, as the because of the fact that certain things the artificial intelligence or the AIs, agentic AIs, they are trained, but the inputs are augmented learnings are from the specialists. Now, the specialist without specialist that without augmented learning by these agents, they cannot do the absolutely right thing at the in a very typical problem situations. For example, I'll tell you what we used to do in a turbine casing. If there's a problem in the turbine, there'll be vibrations inside the turbine case. And turbine, the vibration monitoring is a very, very important tool for knowing the health of the machines. Now, this there's a company called Bentley Nevada. They are experts in vibration monitoring systems. They are still today. They are very active in developing the AI agents for industrial applications. So this company, way back, I think it was 1985, 89, 89, 88, 89. In our one of our biggest process plant, we had the Bentley Nevada's vibration monitoring system, and we had another system which is known, which is called an event monitor. Now, coupling these two, we used to get the machine health analysis, and that, like maintenance has three kind of maintenance: separate, breakdown maintenance, or preventive maintenance and predictive maintenance. Now, predictive maintenance is automatically is the most cost effective and productive way. It gets the machine data from the vibration systems, and then but even with that Bentley Nevada's system, which is that was the top in class in the world those days, they our some old technicians used to uh, take some stick, metal stick, and then put the stick in the ear and the turbine case to find the fine nuances of the vibrations, what's happening, to find the source where the problem is. Those are all, and he will be able to cognitively he can understand. So he will be able to impart that knowledge to the agent. So these are small examples. What I'm telling, continuously the industry experts uh, are required for really developing the ultimate AI agents which are mm, the best, can give the best solutions for the industry. So this is now let me so such things are required. So disruptions are taking place, continuous learnings are required, but human human experts will not be replaced as we think that everybody will be going out of the job. That didn't happen in earlier technological
Yes.
development also, as all of us know.
Yeah.
So some new skills, new things will come up. And so
Yeah.
far as sustainability is concerned, sustainability will has to go hand in hand with this thing, because the entire globe wants to have the sustainable businesses to get premium products from other people. So
Yes.
sustainability has to go hand in hand with that, and energy efficiency of machines, industries, and so that will reduce the energy, the carbon footprint, and all those things. Those areas are required to have addressed to have the sustainable solutions.
So very rightly said. You have brought out the very important point of disruptions taking place because of AI and AI agents replacing people. But then we have seen in the past, technology always aids development. It doesn't replace people. People get different other kinds of jobs, and also along with that, when we talk of ESG, if we look at the social aspect, it is also the social duty of companies to train their employees so that there there should be a hand holding where the employees should be trained and upgraded so that they can use the new tools. They can work along with the AI agents and do better for the organization. So that was a very valuable input. Now I move to the next question, that is for Mr. Pradeep Katyal. What role business leaders play in facilitating use of open source frameworks for accelerating industry transformations?
Okay. So business leader, of course, have a very important role. And I have tried to summarize, I'll try to summarize this in around 6, 7 points that what they can do. And foremost of that, I think with all the buzz going around on social media, whenever you open any newspaper, magazine, seminar, the kind of buzz that is going AI, it is almost stressing out the organization. And I'm talking the business organization, not talking so much about technology organizations. So my first recommendation for the business leaders is that stay away from fear of missing out. Technologies are emerging. There is still long way to go. Even if you look at the disclaimers on most of the technology, there are disclaimers that okay, the output of this AI tool may be inaccurate. So there is lot more has to come. So one clear advantage of AI, I again emphasize is speed, because this is for me is the key word whenever we talk about artificial intelligence. And business leaders need to make a judicious call on relevance of different speeds of decisions you require in real time for different area of your business. So for different areas, you require different speed. Uh, so you need to be very judicious about it. Number two, understand strategic importance of these technologies and be committed to driving the cultural change. It cannot be a stop-start operation. There can be many errors while you are doing it, but organization commitment, you can't compromise on organization commitment to adopting new technologies. So that backing has to come from the business leaders. Make sure your organization continuously maintains the high quality, complete, and accurate reference data and transaction data. All technologies, there will be players to help you out. Technology will keep on evolving, but if you don't capture the data today, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, you will not have the data to work on. If you are talking about the tools like machine learning or various other subsections of AI, you need to have your own data to work on it. Then make your top team. So it's not about one or two people. And mostly, I think, as I'm saying, the younger generation is much more aware of these technology, maybe for personal use or other thing. But top team, expose the top team to different kind of tools, different segment of AI, and make them also aware of open source AI frameworks. It is important. There are different frameworks suitable for different kind of tasks. Even if you are not adopting into your organization, it is better to be aware of those beforehand. Collaborate or do business with the vendors who are already leveraging AI to provide domain specific solution to their clients. So you know that okay, all the e-commerce sites, if you are selling products, so they already are deploying AI to make the right recommendation to the customers. But here again, the disclaimer is that you need to have the right product for the right customers. If you don't have your product or services right, the use of AI may go against you and may be a undue advantage to your competition. Okay. Then focus on business and leave technology to the specialists. So I'm talking for the business organization. Yes, you must be aware of uh, AI uh, open frameworks, but when it comes to deployment, then take help of specialized IT companies who are specializing on those domains. Don't try to develop those tools using open source in-house, because you will never be able to go to that level. You will never be able to get those many resources in your organization where the specialist organizations are doing it for their bread and butter. They'll be more efficient in that. Now, last but not the least, seek clarity on about who owns the intellectual property rights on the outputs of AI. This is going to be one of the area of great concern that okay, yes, you will do a lot of work on different frameworks, but when later on there can be a dispute that who owns the intellectual property on the outcome of those frameworks. Be absolutely clear about that. Thanks.
Wonderful, sir. So you have brought out very vital points. When we talk of intellectual property rights, it has to be looked into, and also when we talk of open source, it can never be actually give you the complete insight. And one more very vital thing that you have talked of is that it is the business of businesses to do business. So they should
Yes.
actually look into the business process, their own business, but AI will aid into doing their business in a better way. And for this, they should take the help of the experts. Very rightly said, sir. So now we move to the next question, which is directed to Mr. Robin Thomas. So IoT is the bottom of the development pyramid in industry-specific technologies like agentic AI and digital twins. How is the typical workflow look like to go upward in the development of specific AI tools?
Okay, nice question and a very interesting question. Actually, currently we are in a development of a similar tool by utilizing the IoT, digital twin, and the AI. So, the as you have mentioned, madam, like the IoT is the bottom layer of the entire tool. Without data, we cannot do any processing. First layer is taking the data from the field using the IoT hardware. That is the first layer of the AI tool development. And the second one is taking, after taking the data, we should analyze the data and evaluate the data and on the accuracy of the data. That is the second part of the development. And the third one is, as you mentioned, the digital twin. We need to create a virtual replica of what happening in the field. If, as Sir Ranjan sir mentioned, if it's a boiler or currently we are in developing a AI based digital twin platform for hydrogen production and supply chain. So in
Wonderful.
that, yeah, we are building a digital twin virtual replica of a plant. So that is the third step. We will, with this data, we will analyze the data and we will create a virtual replica. And the next stage is the implementation of agentic AI. We need to automate these process in order to reduce the human intervention. We implement AI algorithm to detect the anomalies or any events that happening in the field. So that is the fourth stage is the implementation of the AI. Then based on the data, we need to train each anomalies. If in any particular anomalies happen, what happening, then we need to take the necessary action based on that event. So we will train the system to, like normally we are now implementing it in the hardware itself, in the edge computing itself. We are implementing that. We train the hardware to act based on the event happening. So next step is the solution. As we are discussing about the development of this tool, the next step is the deployment of these system in a real plant. Then we will evaluate all the scenario. We will first take the data, second evaluate the data, third one we will compare it with the virtual replica, what is that is happening in the same in the field, and the virtual is responding based on the events. And then we will evaluate that. Then we will scale up it into multiple sites. That is the model that we are following to build a AI based digital twin tool. That I can share from my experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So, yes,
Sorry, I have a question. Can I go it?
sure, sir, please.
Mr. Robin, your plant is in which stage? Is it in brownfield or greenfield? Actually, you are constructing or already constructed? It's operating. Which
No,
stage?
actually, we are currently collaborated through a existing plant for a existing plant in UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that case, the digital twins, the entire gamut of the life cycle of any plant, this thing will not be there probably because it starts from design, engineering, construction,
Mm.
then commissioning, handing over, and then operation and maintenance life cycle completely.
Yeah,
So
yes, sir.
it encompasses everything and
Mm.
goes on, feeding from one to another to get a perfect digital twin for the yet for experimenting and teaching them the
Yeah.
functions of it and all this. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It was really great to know about your latest work that you're doing, and that you are actually developing a digital twin for an existing plant. It was really great to know. And these things like these were not a reality in the past, but now these are becoming a reality, and even they make the processes more sustainable, because if you have a digital twin of the plant, then you can know where there are energy wastages, where there are flaws which can be controlled, and how the wastage can be controlled, and how the organization can be made more sustainable. So it does contribute to it. Now, I would like to all panel members, I would like to ask a very general question, but a very important question. It is like, to deal with negative use of AI, do you think responsible AI development is a priority before accelerating the development to the next level of AI applications? And if yes, then why?
Should we go one by one?
Sure, sure. Anyone, most welcome to answer.
Okay. Uh, Responsible AI, of course, is very important because of the negative use of artificial intelligence. But there's a paradox there. What happens, as Mr. Pradeep Katiwal has rightly told earlier, the fear, you know, intervene creates problem for the progress. What happens that there was I attended some debate around this, that whether regulation should be there or regulation should not be there. Now this is another big question. So what is happening, all this comes out of the fear basically, that what will happen. So that's why basically this thing is required, regulation is required. And sorry, what was the question?
It was about the negative use of AI.
Sorry, my old is little. So
Yeah.
what happens? Negative use of AI. We think that whether we should go ahead or not, it accelerations reduces because of these doubts coming in whether this will go. So negative use, that looking at the regulations and how to address the negative issues and the progress, both should, to my view, both should go parallelly. That you should not be cautious, but you should not think too much about that what will happen in the negative, because there are millions of positive things which can happen, so those will be slowed down. That's why we should go ahead, one side the progress, mm, uh, on full fledged, because speed is the essence today. So very fast you have to get into the next generation of artificial intelligence applications. And At the same time, the look at the how to self-regulate in the organization, and how to introduce them into the agents and the agentic intelligence, basically. So they introduce that. And next generation, what is happening is artificial super intelligence, basically. So at those stages, these things also will be taken care of, as is listening. So at those stage, these fears will be gone. It will not be there. They will be taken care of by these super intelligent agents.
True. And even if we ask, suppose an AI tool to show a person writing with left hand, they will still show a person writing with the right hand. So there are
Yes, yes.
limitations in AI tools. So that limitations has to be overcome, and I'm sure as AI will progress, these limitations would be addressed, and we will also come to know the negative uses, and regulations will have to go simultaneously. Very rightly said, sir. Now, would anyone like to add further to it, to the question, or should I move to the next question?
I just wanted to, what you have mentioned, Mr. Modi gave a
Yes,
brilliant example on that left hand and right hand, which normally would not come to our mind, that the
yes,
agent will, AGI will take the examples, knowledge maximum is right hand, so left-handers will not be left and it will not understand. So give the right-hander. Great
true.
example. Thank
One,
you for
yeah,
doing that.
true, sir. Thank you, sir. In fact, it was from your knowledge source that I had come to know about it. So now, my next question to all the panel members is, what will India's answer be to DeepSeek?
Somebody else will go.
Yes, Robin, sir, do you have anything to add to it?
Yeah, definitely there will be a similar product will come from India, and I think Ola, they started. There are a lot of startup initiated that, but I don't know much detail on the specifics. Yeah.
Okay. And Pradeep sir, would you like to add to it what will be India's answer to it? But yes, we have. Yes, sir.
See, I don't have any specific knowledge, or like it's not a very specific answer, but if you go by the trend, I worked a lot on ERPs. So I saw the first ERP being implemented in an organization way back around 1990. So at that time in India, we thought that okay, India will never be able to develop that product, and situation does not did not change for many years. But suddenly you found that okay, uh, all across the globe, the banking software emerging from India. Now, recently, if you look at just last 5-10 years, now the best of the ERPs are now online-based ERPs are from India. So, in technology, I think the panel members will agree. Sometimes it is not a disadvantage to be delayed on certain things. By that time, you know that okay, you will be aware of many errors, you will be aware of customer requirements, and you can leapfrog and you can be ahead of others. And by nature, that way I'm quite a fan of human wisdom and human intelligence, that okay, people learn and they can do much better job than which has been done ever before.
Wonderful, sir. Very
Yeah.
rightly said.
In fact,
Anything? Yeah.
sister, the best answer of your question you will get from interview of our IT minister, Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav, in the Paris summit. He has explained it very clearly where India is going, where India already has achieved all these things. Actually, the entire ecosystem of the AI development, starting from the NVIDIA chips and all those things, and so your compute power has to be fast. So India has already developed compute power is being developed, which will be shared to everybody, everyone free. So that's a democratization of compute power is happening. That's a great thing. Nowhere in the world, nobody has done it. So that people will can use those compute power to develop specific AI agents or whatever development on AI is taking place. And now use cases of those can be, it is happening and for defense applications, it's happening for agricultural applications and everything. So those has the platform has been created. Now he is the compete war, how is created, is getting created, how much, I think 18,000 this thing chips have been ready now, NVIDIA chips. And so those things are, he explained very nicely. And then after that, how every segment of the industry or institutions and any applications, how those will, the startups and the institutions, how they are taken in on board, different research institutions taken on board, and then how to, so what is happening, we are basically, it is like creating a resilient force of AI specialists. Because what will happen, we, because we have everything available at some point, maybe another, he was giving a date of by 26 something. At that stage, we'll have almost every resource. We not look for some element uh, to China or USA and all this. We'll be self-sufficient for all those, Atmanirbhar. So in that
Yes.
case, what will happen? The speed of acceleration of the developments will be faster because we are not handicapped by any resources. So resources will be there, including and he also mentioned about the how the training programs on AI is being developed. What is the total things happening? Everything has been cleared. So if you have not seen, eventually can go to YouTube. Probably you may get that fantastic interview in Paris.
Sure, sir. So I think that is a good takeaway for the viewers as well. So they can also have a look at that interview. And with this, we come to the end of the panel discussion. And I am sure the viewers have gained a lot from it. We have discussed about AI in depth, and we have talked about the digital twin technology. We have talked about how AI has the negatives of AI, how it can be overcome, and also how India would be overcoming deep sea challenge in the near future. And very rightly said by Pradeep sir, as he said that we can learn from others' errors. So it's better to start late because we know what flaws are there, and we can see to it that we don't make those mistakes, and we leave. Higher as compared to others and move ahead. So with this, I close this panel discussion, and I thank all the panel members for their valuable time and the great inputs that they have given. They have shared their knowledge with us. We are truly thankful to all of you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Srishta, for
Thank
having
you.
us here and
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bye.
Sreshta
Thanks,
Madam
Reshmi,
and
panel
Executive.
members. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.